Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of the Focus program. I'm Pastor D.W. Tolbert. I'm pastor of the New Hope Baptist Church in the shoreline city of Muskegon, Michigan. Thank you for tuning in again to our Focus program. Today, I'm super excited today. I have a great show lined up for you today. A few weeks ago, we did a show with then mayoral candidate Walter Watt, and he was running for mayor of the city of Muskegon Heights. And now he has been successfully elected as mayor. And so he is back with us now today to share with us his post-election views and the city moving forward under his mayoral leadership. So we're happy to have him, along with the city manager for the Muskegon Heights community, Manager Bell, is with us today, and we're so thankful to God to have him with us today. Both of these great men from the city of Muskegon Heights are going to share with us their views on the city. Thank you, City Manager and Mayor. Thank you so much for coming, and congratulations again to you on your successful bid for the mayor's position. Well, tell us how does it feel?
First of all,
take a victory lap.
I've been running a little bit now, but in reality, it's time to get down to work.
Right.
And we got a lot of things that we're working on, that we're trying to move forward and putting in place some things that hasn't been in place before to help us improve our services, help us improve the things that we need and want to do in the city of Muskegon Heights to help us move forward futuristically.
Okay.
And Mr. Bell is a vital part of that activity. But we're digging into a lot of the issues that we have and seeing how and where we can make improvements by simply making changes. And we've been doing a lot of work. We've been meeting with the business community, citizens, and just trying to hear their concerns and seeing what things we can do. It's a lot of simple things that we can do to make things better in the city of Muskegon Heights. And that's where we're starting. But long term, we have some things that we're planning and working on that's going to change the landscape of the city.
Good.
And help improve it in terms of home ownership and bringing citizens back into our community to help reestablish our tax base and working to try to bring back businesses that can help provide jobs and do some better things in the city that hasn't been done. So we got some big goals, and it takes a lot of work. We're going to have some very, very tough conversations and making those decisions to help change the landscape, because it's time.
Right.
But we're up for the task, and we're definitely and those that we have to partner with and have those conversations with, we're going to work with them to see what their vision is and provide what our vision is, because we have a tremendous opportunity in the city of Muskegon Heights to make tremendous improvements. We just have to do the work to do it.
Right.
Did you want to add anything, Mr. Bell?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say it's a tremendous honor and privilege to assume the role of city manager here in Muskegon Heights.
Yes. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you, and you're relatively new to the community since September of this year, of 19.
Yes.
Well, good. Welcome again.
I'm excited to be here, and I know Mayor Sims worked really hard to make my transition into this role as smooth as possible. And now that the baton has been handed off to the new mayor, we're continuing to move forward with some of the things that we're looking to do in the city, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this role.
Wonderful. And you come from the Washington, D.C.
Originally, I was raised mostly in the Washington, D.C. area. My father is in the military, so actually lived in 13 different states growing up.
Oh, wow.
Graduated from high school in Maryland, Oxon Hill, Maryland, right outside of D.C. And most recently, I was teaching at Purdue, where I'm working on my Ph.D.
Oh, wonderful.
And so that was the reason for the transition period from September to now. In January, I'm going full-time. I'll be here full-time. So, again, I'm really, really excited about moving forward with the mayor's plans and moving forward with the great citizens of Muskegon Heights.
Well, good. We're glad to have you. Looking forward to working with you and instituting the programs that you are prepared to share with the city and the community as a whole. So thank you. Thank you so much. Well, Mayor, where do we go from here?
Well, you know, we're looking at one of the big issues that, you know, I saw when I was running as a candidate was the decrease in home ownership.
Okay.
From 2010, you know, we had a 51% home ownership, and today that's down to 49%, and that's a troubling trend, as I said before.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that we are looking and working to try to change in order to bring back citizens, bring up home values, stabilize neighborhoods that, you know, have areas where we have nice, beautiful homes, and might be one or two bad homes on the block that needs to go, and some empty lots. But the neighborhood is solid with home ownership. Just needs to be, you know, brought back and built up. And that's where we're looking to try to start doing some development on our own. We can't continue to wait for someone to come try and do these things for us. If we are to stabilize our neighborhoods and bring them back and increase home values and overall the value of our community. So we're looking at starting to, in certain areas, spot develop some new homes that, you know, we could get citizens that's looking to buy a new home to come back into our community because the neighborhood is safe, it's stabilized, and it's home ownership.
Okay.
And as well, we're looking to develop areas that, you know, we need developing to provide low-income homes for those as well that are low income and need assistance. So we're looking to make some changes in that area, in the home ownership area. So anything you'd like to add?
Well, let me start by saying that we have a new council, and I think we have an outstanding council with the mayor's leadership. I think it's going to provide the support and the platform to be able to move forward with the measures that I think will bring the city to the next level, to the new heights.
Yeah, the new heights.
Yeah,
New heights.
That's
New
great.
heights.
Is that a slogan?
Set your sights on the new heights.
Oh man, that's awesome. I'm gonna hire you around here in my church.
Well, I didn't come up with the slogan, but I like it.
I like it too.
My city manager came up with that slogan.
Oh wow,
so,
that's awesome.
I love it.
Set your sights on the new heights. That's good.
That's a
good.
product of bringing the staff together and doing some brainstorming on how we can move forward. And they came together and pulled together this slogan out of a number of different options that will spin off from that. But that's all part of the I said 4 before, but 5-point plan that we are going to be pursuing.
Yeah, I was just about to inject that in just a moment. So we might as well. You want to roll that out?
Well, I just want to say also along the lines of developing, and we have to work on our crime issue.
Okay.
That is a tremendous issue that we're, you know, working with our police chief and coming up with some new ideas and things that we're going to do. We're talking about getting more officers out in the streets and having more security in the areas where we have crime and blight. And so those are the issues that we have to deal with in order to build our community back up, because no business wants to come into an unsafe neighborhood or a community. No citizen wants to live in an unsafe community or neighborhood. And if you got those two dynamics happening at the same time, you have a problem.
Right.
And in order to fix that problem, you got to address the issue, and that is the crime issue. So we're brainstorming. We're sitting down at the table, having some serious conversations about what can we do, how to do it. And City Manager has brought some tremendous ideas about how we can get more officers on the street, and the chief of police as well has brought some tremendous ideas about what we can and should be doing. And we just got to move in that direction, and that starts with having council come and have a conversation and being involved and being united behind the plan to do these things, because those are things that must happen if we're to move forward. If they don't, we just stay stagnant and things don't get any better. So that's one of that issue of crime is something that we take serious, and we're working to improve it and fix it.
That's good. That's good. I'm sure all of the citizens are going to be happy to hear that, and certainly that's a good thing. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and one of the amazing things that is troubling about the crime issue is the statistic that the police chief often has said. I think he says 60% of the crime, or 65% of the crime that's committed in the city of Muskegon Heights is committed by someone that does not live in the city. So you know that's a troubling statistic. So we want to send a message moving forward that we're going to be doing something about that.
Right, right.
You can't just come into our community and think that you're going to commit your crime and go back to your own community and think that that's going to be okay.
Right,
We're going
right.
to be working on solving that problem.
Yeah, that is an interesting statistic. I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize it either, but it's very troubling.
Yeah, that is. It is. Mr. Bell, would you like to share with us your 4-point or 5-point plan going forward for the city?
Sure. As you know, in the council manager form of government, the council lays out the priorities, and it's the responsibility of the manager to carry out meeting those priorities.
Right.
And so, based on the last 3 months that I have been on the ground and working with the priorities set out by the council, our objectives are to, in the 5-point plan that I mentioned, is to begin with addressing the issue of blight.
Okay.
So we want the city to be, once again, that pristine community where folks dress up to go downtown. The lawns are manicured, the houses are well upkept. So that's number one, address the issue of blight. Number two, build. Like the mayor said, Mayor Watt, we need to begin building new houses. We haven't built a new house in Muskegon Heights, I'm told, since for the last 8 years.
Okay.
And so our next objective, like the mayor likes to say, is start making some holes and building some houses. So blight, build. And then the third is to address the issue of crime.
Okay.
And so the mayor alluded to the work that we've begun with the chief of police to put 30 new police officers into operation within the city. And so that's not just 30 officers that are policing, but it's also officers that are engaged in citations for blight. It's also 30 officers that are involved in community-oriented policing, supporting our neighborhood associations, interacting and engaging with the schools.
Okay.
So they are multi-purpose, multifaceted, and it is to create greater connectivity with the community and also bring down the tendency for people to come from outside our community to do the things that they want to do and then leave and think it's okay. So you've got blight, build, crime, and the next thing that we're talking about is branding. All of that comes under the auspices of branding.
Okay.
We mentioned setting our sights on the new heights.
Right.
That's part of our branding
Absolutely.
objective.
Absolutely.
To get people to understand the true value, tremendous value, I should say, that the Muskegon Heights offers. We've got great bones in this community, tremendous folks, great community spirit. That's all part of the brand that we want to put out there as we begin addressing this 5-point plan. So we've got build, blight, build. We've got crime. We've got branding. And the last thing is customer service.
Okay.
So within City Hall, when you step into City Hall, our objective is to make you feel like you are stepping into a customer service rich world. And so we're looking at extending our hours at City Hall so folks don't have to rush to come in the morning before work by adding additional hours in the morning and additional hours in the evening so that folks can come in. And also with our permitting process, we're streamlining those processes with the citation processes. All of those aspects of the way that you engage with City Hall or your city, we're looking to make that much more customer service friendly, specifically in the business arena as we work to attract new business and new industry to the community. Things such as microbreweries, a bottling company, those types of things that leverage the fantastic water filtration plant.
Right.
I mean, that's a jewel of our community that is underutilized, and we're looking for opportunities to maximize and optimize those assets in the community.
Yeah. Those are awesome. I like the 5-point plan there. That's
We've been busy.
Yeah, see, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Is there a possibility for maybe some grants to pursue to help push that program forward, or something of that nature?
Absolutely. And did you want to?
No, go ahead.
One of the things that, and speaking to the business community, they were concerned about the issue of blight. And so I went back to the business community and said, help me fund a position, a Parks and Rec director position, to stand up the Parks and Rec division again. I asked them to support 3 years of that salary before the city takes over the salary.
Okay.
And the responsibilities of that position would be to be the lead on maintaining all of our parks, be the lead on creating programming for our children in this community, because the long-term plan is to invest in the pipeline.
Okay.
And the pipeline are our youth, our children.
Right.
So we need to focus a lot of our resources on programming that brings them in and brings them up, and the parks is a great place to begin with that. And then in addition to that, that individual will be going after grants, pulling grants in, because I'm asking him or her to also be responsible for maintaining the green spaces, and that's all the vacant lots.
Okay.
So that they're cut, that they're manicured, and begin doing some landscaping associated with that. So all of that would be under the auspices of that role and that position. So to your point, we're going to be going after grants to be able to fund that, but also looking at a collaborative approach to funding this and working together with the business community, and the Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce, et cetera.
Well, good. You know, it's interesting you mentioned the youth, and I think, Mayor, we talked about this a little bit in our last program that we did. The prospects of the city and the school system working collaboratively together. What's the outlook on that? Is that
it's very good. We've met with the superintendent and had some discussions on things that we can do to help improve the schools and the city as a whole. But you know, we have to work to get parents to bring their students back to the city school system in Muskegon Heights. Right now, it's a troubling trend that, again, you know, you have a statistic of 900 students being bused out of the city of Muskegon Heights to other schools throughout the county.
Right.
900. You do the math on that times a minimum, maybe $7,200, and that's a tremendous amount of money that is leaving our community, our district, that should be within our schools, where we can provide for more teachers, more educators, more teachers, educators, administrators, any and everything that we need to help improve the condition and the circumstances that's happening right now that most people complain about. They're sending the dollars are going away. If we had those dollars to do the things that that they could do, then it would be a much better situation. But got to find a way to reverse that trend. But we're working with the school and meeting with the superintendent and finding ways that we can collaborate and be better partners for the community. Because honestly, they're outside. They're a separate entity from the city.
Right.
But I've always said, when people move into a community, the number one thing first thing they look at is the public school district, the quality of that district.
That's true.
And if it's not good, it's a good chance they won't move into your community. True. So rather we're separate, we're really equal. And we really should be partners in how we improve education in the city of Muskegon Heights. And we must do that, and that's what we're working on doing. So anything you'd like to add? So
I'd say that the prospects are very bright. I want to applaud the superintendent and the recent opening of the pool at the
Yes, I heard about that. Right. Wonderful.
Yes, wonderful. And the mayor was there for the ribbon cut.
You gave him a break on the water, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't jumping in.
I was there just to see that. So
that's all.
Backed out at the last minute.
But I think that's a fantastic addition to the community.
Absolutely.
When you think about the disparate rates at which African Americans are victims of drowning in communities.
Yes, right.
So teaching that at an early age and having folks be comfortable with the water, and also an opportunity for our senior citizens to enjoy the aqua benefits of a warm pool. So I think that's a great step forward, and I look at our Parks and Rec person as a collaborator around the use of the pool for summer programs to be able to support that. Again, that's a mechanism for the collaboration between the schools and the city as well. And I think we're looking at other ways that we can help support the school through providing additional services. We have a great finance department, and so there's a possibility that we might be able to provide services through finance to the school district. So
Okay.
There's ways that with our resources combined and coordinated, we might be in a much better position, at least in my opinion, to lift up the school and the school's mission. And at the same time, the saying, a rising tide raises all ships.
Right.
So raise up the prospects of the city under that branding objective that I mentioned earlier.
Right. Speaking of collaborative effects and efforts, I'm sure you have reached out to or making inroads to the faith community. Because as I listen to you talk, both of you, we're kind of grappling with the same issues in the church.
Right.
From everything from youth to our seniors. Providing for our seniors as well. And we're dealing with the same things, and the trying to attract the youth and maintain the youth and things of that nature. So, do you think there's some areas where the faith community and the city can come together and work together? Because all of our churches are right here in the community, and our parishioners as well.
Yeah.
In
order for the city of Muskegon Heights to survive and move forward, it has to happen. The church is a vital entity within most Black communities, and that's where we congregate, we come together every Sunday, and have a word of prayer and uplifting, but we have to have our churches involved in the community, and that's so that's part of our next plan. And once we dig through all the issues and things that we have, we're going to bring the churches together and meet with them and discuss ways that they can be a vital part of this improving Muskegon Heights. And right now they do so much anyway. They constantly are looking to serve the community, and the churches have done an outstanding job. But we need to find a way that we can extend that even more, because we have a lot of needs that are unmet. But moving it forward and cleaning up the community, I think that's where the churches can be tremendously involved with, because we have a lot of lots in a lot of areas and a lot of churches in those areas that they're providing services in those particular parts of the community right now. And we're just going to ask them to do a little more. If they, and I think everybody in the community wants to see the community move forward. We have to do more. And the city being the catalyst for the leader of doing more.
Right. That's good. And, we're all in this together. And as you mentioned, rising tide lifts all boats. That's certainly true. And we all have an interest in this and the success of our community. And it helps fuel success in our county. And we're all better off.
So, and to your point, I'm glad you mentioned the faith community. Part of the work that I'm doing on my dissertation is about this idea that the Black community is being pulled apart culturally by segmenting ourselves into government, into community, into churches, and our culture. The research that I've seen says that our culture is not. Does not operate that way. We are a collaborative culture. I mean, that old adage that says it takes a village to raise a child. That's not just everybody being involved, but everybody being involved together. And so the faith community is the fiber of our culture. And as such, we need to incorporate that into everything that we do. There shouldn't be that separation between the school, between the city governance, between the church and the community. We need to figure out ways that within the means of the legal system that has been set upon us to actively pursue with intentionality that coordination and a collaboration of all of those elements to the benefit of our community. Because we weren't meant to be segmented and compartmentalized. Like that. That might work for other communities, but it does not allow us to reach our fullest potential. And when we begin to see that coordination and that collaboration, that's when we are able to reach that fullest potential.
Excellent point. I think the erosion of that has caused a lot of our issues as well.
Exactly.
So I'm glad to hear that you're on that track. Wonderful. We're near out of time, but how does you mentioned that you have a new city commission Does that mean
Council.
there are some new faces and
Yes,
things like that?
yes.
Is that coming together? Are everybody going to gel together? And
Yeah,
you think we'll have a good working unity
Yes, indeed.
among the commission?
Yes, indeed. That was one of the my priorities when I became mayor, is to unite the council, and I'm working to do that. And by doing that, when it's something as simple as making them available, or making any meetings that we participate in and are invited to, inviting a representative from council as well to be a part of that, and having a word in that, because they are duly elected just like I am, and their voice is just as important as mine in our form of government. And we are a weak mayor form of government, which means I have one voice and one vote, just like they do. My vote is no more powerful.
Right.
But I do provide a vision for the community that I encourage and want them to get behind, and that's how we move things forward. But as far as newly, we have 2 new council people. One was elected in the last election, Councilman Derek Collins, and one was just recently appointed, Councilwoman Tamika Fox. She was appointed by council, and we have our government. Well, in the situation that we were in, there were less than 2 years remaining on my term, the charter directs us to appoint someone. And through the recommendations, she became the appointed councilwoman.
Okay.
One thing that I'd like to point out is we don't realize how folks outside the community, the business community, pays such a close attention to the way that the council interacts. They want to see a council, before they invest their money, that is working together, collaboratively.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
And the spotlight is always on, particularly in black communities.
Yes.
And so the treasurer's office was in the other day, and one of the first questions they asked me about, and looking at our finances, how is the council getting along?
Yes.
And so the mayor's leadership in unifying the council and creating trust and transparency is critical to us being able to do that branding and be able to go out there and solicit economic development in the community.
Excellent point. Thank you for injecting that.
And just to his point, I saw that firsthand in a meeting that we had one morning with some business people, and after we got done, he kind of just casually mentioned, business people, this is a good opportunity, but they want to see that the council and the leadership is unified.
Right.
He clearly said that, and that stuck in my mind, and that's why that's one of my main goals, is to unify the council so that we can move our city forward and look unified doing it.
Yes.
We don't always have to.
It makes my job a lot easier.
It makes his job easier.
Yeah.
And it makes us look better.
Right.
We don't always have to fight about all the issues. And,
Right.
it's okay to disagree, but at the end of the day, we should come together for what's best for the community moving it forward.
Right. Very good. And I see the unity among the two of you. You are the 2 key players.
Right. We
And
got
so,
an
Beginning and the end.
so that's awesome. Thank you. We're all out of time, but I wish we had a little more time to share. But I thank you all for taking a busy time out of your busy schedules to be with us and share with our audience today. So thank you very much. And again, congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you.
And Mr. Bell, thank you for being a part of our community. We do appreciate you and welcome you again to our city. And we're just looking forward for great things. I know that the city of Muskegon Heights is on the move now. Right. All right. So we are thankful. Set your sights on the new heights.
That's
man, that's awesome. Set your sights on the new heights. Man, y'all better look out. We are moving forward. Thank God. All right. Well, we got to go, but always remember, and never forget, when you get with Jesus, you're going up. God bless you. See you next time.